The question is, should you keep your binge foods out of the house, or the foods that you typically lose control around, or the foods that your trigger foods, the foods that you're like, if I keep Oreos in the house, I will eat the entire sleeve in one sitting. I just need to keep them out of the house. So is that a good idea or a bad idea? Here are my thoughts. So when we have a food that we feel like we just can't control ourselves around, the temptation is to restrict that food. We're like, I need to limit my access to this because every time I eat it, I can't stop, and I eat way more of it than I intend, or I eat to the point of physical discomfort. So obviously because I can't control myself around this food, I need to limit my access to it. I need to not have it in the house. I need to say no to this food. When actually, in reality, what is going to help you to ultimately feel in control around that food is to increase your access to it. So the inclination is to decrease your access to it. The real solution is to increase your access to it. So let's say you lose control around Oreos. Every time you eat Oreos, you don't stop at just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. You're eating just the whole sleeve of Oreos. So you might be like, I need to keep these out of the house. When I would posit, what if you tried to eat Oreos repeatedly, like multiple days in a row, increase your exposure to it? The point is not to get sick of it, but it's to take that food off the pedestal, to normalize the food. There's a term for this called habituation, and it's like exposure therapy, and it's what we use in food therapy or nutrition counseling to help you to make peace with food, so that that food does not have power over you, so that you don't feel like you have insatiable cravings for it, or you're binging on it, you're losing control around it. Loss of control eating is a result of a restrictive mentality. So if instead you're like, hey, you can have Oreos, and actually we're going to have them like multiple days in a row, for example, and then the more you're exposed to it, the more ordinary it becomes, right? It makes common sense. This is like, it's so logical it hurts. The more you are exposed to it, the more ordinary it becomes. And again, the point is not to lose your taste for Oreos, or to never ever want them again, or to be like, I can't eat Oreos anymore. Maybe that will happen. I mean, I don't want that to be the goal, though. I want the goal to be that food is taken off the pedestal. It's no longer so sparkly and magical, so that when you do have it, when you do have access to it, you're like, I can eat this. I can have just as many as I need to feel satisfied, which is just like a balanced amount. And then I can move on without guilt, or without feeling like I need to restrict all my food to make up for it. I can just move on with the rest of my life, right? That's how we have food take just a balanced place in your life. That's how we create moderation around food, so that we're not going from extreme to extreme, of restrict to binge, okay? So listen, I have spots open for one-on-one coaching. I would absolutely love to chat with you and see if that's a good option for you if you are feeling stressed out in your relationship with food. My one-on-one coaching clients see massive results, and it is so inspiring. And if you don't believe me, there's lots of highlights in my bio, my Instagram bio, and on my website. There's testimonials and stories and just lots of good things where my clients share what it was like to work with me, and how they created success, and how they healed their relationships with food. But yes, so one-on-one coaching applications are open. I love starting people off around August, because I usually work with people for a minimum of 3 months. So let's look, we have August, September, October. So you're like good by the time Halloween rolls around, and then we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas or Hanukkah and New Year's. And this is just like the perfect time to start working on this, because when I typically see the most chaos in people's relationships with food is around the holidays. It's Halloween candy binges. It is overeating, eating to the point of physical discomfort around Thanksgiving. It is blowing it, quote unquote, at Christmas, because there's so many fun foods around, and it's just lots and lots of stress around food that time of the year. So if we start working on this now, you will be good to go. You will be 100% well positioned to enter into the holiday season stress-free, not worried about what food's going to be around, not worried about counting or tracking anything, just being able to eat normally. That's the dream, right? So if you have any questions, I would love to chat with you. You can comment here, or you can send me a DM. Let me know what you guys need. I would love to help support you through this. I guess that's it. Thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.